If you're a person who is shamelessly chasing success, embracing ambition and wealth, pride and power, then needless to say, you're going to have to get incredibly comfortable in the spotlight. Here's how you can connect with none other than Helios, king of the celestial realm. When he turns his light upon you, there are two options: shine or burn. My name is Anna Bellissima. I am an extremely powerful magician, as of course are you, and I want you to get everything you desire. If you follow my channel, I'll introduce you to all the tools and concepts you need to make heaven on earth. Believe me, it can be done. But first, if you're as clever as a fox and twice as cunning, set the playback speed to 1.5 and buckle up. We are here to get hot with the sun. In the Greek tradition, he is pulled across the sky by Apollo, god of light. He is Ra, the great creator and supreme life force. I'm going to tell you how you can harness this immense power, the literal creative source of all life, to your own personal benefit. But first, I'm going to share with you exactly why you might want to put yourself in the way of this absolute disco inferno. You'll be familiar with the phrase that begins, "if you can't stand the heat." This is the planetary kitchen. Some people prefer a quieter life, and that is okay. However, if you are ready to explode into success with the force of 1,000 suns, then Helios is the nuclear option. So, who is this magic for? It's for you if you're yearning for success with a public face, for leadership and the archetype of the emperor. With great success often comes great wealth and great influence, and the sun lends a bounteous generosity to the attainment of your goals. This is the energy of growth and action, vitality, individuality, and unashamed attention-seeking. It's the spell that comes over all of us when we feel the warmth of unconditionally loving attention, but which we learn to suppress, because as little people, what we got in return for our brilliance was criticism, or worse. But of course, with the sun, warmth also comes with illumination. Expect to have your shadows lit up, your fingers burned, and your blocks and self-sabotage to go up in flames. The sun has lessons for you and will deliver them with a directness that befits the white flame fireball that keeps us all alive. Your rituals, prayers, and intentions with the sun will send ripples into the field where reality is created at the speed of light. The results will not arrive in a way you imagine or in the timescale you have planned for. The sun is glorious, life-giving. It causes growth and allows us to see the beauty all around us. But sometimes we all yearn for a cool, dark cave with long, deep shadows. Remember, you do not need to believe in magic in order to practice it effectively. Magic, as I am fond of saying, is a technology. Perform a simple ritual with sincerity and observe with an earnest and open heart the results. Now, for a short general primer on planetary deities, I invite you to look up my earlier episode on working with Mercury. When you're done watching this, take a look in the description and I will leave a link for you. But very briefly, here's what you need to know. Planetary magic is a creative act of relationship building made with intentional offerings, respect and gratitude, specific requests, and reciprocity. Just as Jesus has his cross and his psalms, all the deities have a well-established list of correspondences: foods, drinks, herbs, crystals, days of the week, colors, and so on. Think of these as a way to attract the attention of the deity whose assistance you're seeking. Mercury and Jupiter are the two planets most often recommended for business and career purposes, but every one of the planets has extremely useful attributes to bring to your work. My own business is dedicated to Mercury, but I personally found a great deal of my business only became possible through working with Helios. As you know, magic and shadow work won't get your business anywhere unless you are also executing the necessary steps to build and grow. That means making decisions like the ruthless future billionaire mogul, iterating your message, creating breakthrough marketing, and all of these activities are generally extremely difficult if your confidence is low. Many of us have even had the experience of being incredibly confident, motivated, and productive when working for a corporate employer in a corporate environment, but can't quite generate the same energy for our own business. It's very understandable. A dominant thought form in the prevailing Western culture has it that personal confidence and self-promotion are red flags, unseemly, vulgar, desperate, unlikable. If you've ever found your emotions activated by someone who is unapologetically self-aggrandizing, you can be quite sure that at some point as a little person you learned that it is good to be humble and quiet and bad to demand attention. And it is also worth noting that the more white, male, heterosexual, neurotypical, and non-disabled you are, the less you will have received this particular indoctrination. So many of us would benefit from a little help to shed this conditioning in order to let the self-love we have been so carefully and diligently nurturing to show on the outside. After all, it is painful to keep trying to blend in when you know you were born to stand out. Helios is purpose, confidence, and ultimate leadership. It is a beautiful, adoring relationship with your own unique and wonderful self. It is charisma and magnetizing the attention you want and deserve. It is healing and well-being and burning away the last vestiges of any fucks you used to give about other people's opinions. I'm sure you're beginning to understand how beneficial that could be to someone with grand ambitions like you. Properly asked, Helios will grant you leadership, courage, charisma, and beautiful alignment with your mission and vision. It will shine a light on any saboteurs you keep hidden in the shadows and help you burn to ashes any blocks in your path. I'm going to take you through a very simple ritual to connect you with the cosmic spotlight. But first, let me remind you that the lessons on this channel will change your life. Your future self will thank you for subscribing so that you never miss a thing. If you're doing this at your altar on a Sunday, gather a few offerings from the list of correspondences I've put in the description. But for right now, grab the nearest pen and paper and draw a symbol like this. A bullseye. Set the controls for the heart of the sun. Next, write a short petition. Decide what you will ask for. Just a sentence will do. Please show me the blocks I cannot see and burn them, or please turn the spotlight upon me and help me step into leadership, or support my well-being and confidence as I explore what success looks like for me. When our family business had all contracts cancelled at the start of the pandemic with no savings or any other source of income, I very quickly had to gain the courage to effectively market my own new copywriting business. You see, I knew exactly what needed to be done. I had worked in marketing since I was a mere girl of 21. No, it wasn't a lack of knowledge, it was a lack of courage, a lack of commitment, a lack of faith. These were the foundations that allowed me to take the actions that building a business requires. Experts and mentors encouraged me to run free events, to start conversations, to make offers and sell my services. But until I took a deliberate approach to cultivating confidence and charisma, my efforts were lackluster at best, non-existent at worst. We all know that magic requires aligned actions in order to manifest. We know what we need to do. I dare say you do too, but self-doubt will effectively keep us hamstrung for months or even years. And now back to the sun. I'm going to walk you through a very short visualization, and anything else you do on your own time will be a bonus. It would be incredibly powerful if you could leave an offering to the sun somewhere out in the open, exposed to the rays, at sunrise, sunset, or midday at your discretion. And again, you will find a list of suggested offerings in the description. So let's think about the sun. Close your eyes and breathe. Imagine the sun melting your shoulder blades. And imagine the sun shining down onto your gently upturned face. Imagine the wisdom in his rays, penetrating your skin, warming the layers of you, shooting like golden arrows into the central core of your energy. Think about light and everything that light makes possible in the world. Think about heat. Think about growth. Imagine being the sun, being the source of growth, and only ever experiencing blinding light. Thank you for light. Thank you for heat. Thank you for power. We time our days by the sun's transit across the sky. Now that we've given attention and energy and gratitude, the most powerful offerings of all, this relationship has initiated. Now and the next time you leave offerings of mead and flowers, and any time you notice the sun, which will be frequent as you go about your day, meditate for a moment on the concept of power. Ponder what it feels like to have the spotlight on you. Imagine what it might be like to see your shadows illuminated. Contemplate the kind of leader you will become and how fame and influence might feel. And let those strange and novel sensations tickle the parts of you that have not been tickled in a very long while. Think about being given the best table at a restaurant, receiving adoring messages from your fans. Think about the money that rolls in effortlessly when people are hungry to be in your energy. You don't have to puzzle anything out. Just think interesting thoughts related to fame, power, and influence, and follow any clues that the universe presents you with the diligence of a hound on the scent. Finally, ask the sun for the contents of your petition to burn down your blocks or place you center stage, or give you confidence, clarity, and charisma, and an appreciation for the skillful wielding of power. Meditate for just a moment or two more, imagining the absolute wonder of what it means to allow a planetary energy to adjust reality on your behalf, and feeling supported by this world instead of at odds with it. And then close the ritual by saying, "In thanks for your blessings, Helios, God of light and fire and heat and health and growth and fame, confidence and charisma, I shall return to you with more and bounteous offerings, and I exalt your name." Helios, thank you for the generosity with which you share your gifts. Please enjoy these offerings and stay as long as you wish. When you are in front of your altar, you will pinch out the candles. But for now, just note the ceremony. Note the date that you performed this ritual, what you did, how it felt, what you hope for, and what you fear. And over the coming days and weeks, write down how your moods and dreams are affected, the signs you're given, the breadcrumbs of inspiration dropped into your path. Now you can connect with this energy at any time. You can get an app for your phone that will chime during the sun's hour, when you could let the concepts of confidence and charisma pass through your body and your mind and cause you to shiver and smile. In the coming weeks, practice non-attachment to outcome alongside your aligned actions, which will be making videos, public speaking gigs, starting conversations, self-promotion, polarizing viewpoints. All of these are required as a means to manifestation of all you desire. If you feel an energy of desperation, of grasping at a precise outcome, my audience has to grow really big right fucking now. Use that pulsing fear of not getting it to practice assuming a magician's attitude, as I outline in my lesson on Quick and Dirty Alchemy. Urgency always masks fear, as does procrastination, and is symptomatic of a divided will. The shadow longs for the drama and intensity of not getting what it wants, of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory once again, and we already know that wicked old shadow does usually get her way. Personal alchemy, in other words, allows us to stop feeling victimized when the results we create are not the results we expected. Again, if any of this feels just too unfamiliar, please do go and watch the Mercury episode first. But I promise that when you see how fast and how brilliantly Helios responds, you'll feel that incredible rush of trust and inevitability that comes from having immense power, the power of the most visible of leaders at your back. Kitten, I truly hope that this short lesson has helped you on your path to unstoppable magical power. I can't wait to see what you have in store for the world.